Okay, Trace, let's talk about our makeup. So now our hair's nice and clean, our instruments are nice and clean, our makeup bag needs some work. And there's a lot to consider when it comes to your makeup. There are a lot of things going on in there. The compacts that can get a little dirty, and then we'll talk about brushes a little bit later. So what do we need to worry about with the compacts?
You need to worry about all your makeup tools. It's very important that your makeup tools stay clean, because if they're dirty, it can lead to unwanted skin irritations, blemishes. You know, it could infect the way how even your makeup actually goes on. So you want to make sure your tools are clean. But before we talk about how to wash it, we want to talk about when to wash it. Okay? So talking about the compact. This is going to be
bad news, guys.
I know, it's going to be
say
bad news.
every day or something crazy.
No, I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to be realistic.
Be real.
Okay. So let's start with sponges. Sponges, most compacts come with a sponge that comes underneath here, something like this, okay? When you need to throw it out is if it looks kind of like this, okay? Don't judge, this is my old one that I found. Okay, so when it's pretty much covered on both sides with makeup, you know what, it's done, it's full of harmful bacteria, just toss it.
All right.
Okay? We want to go with one that kind of looks like this. You know, it looks like you've been using it for a week or two, and that's when you should be replenishing your sponges. About once every week or every 2 weeks. Now you can wash them, or you can get a new one. Now washing them.
Let's see how that looks. So you only have a little bit of gunge on there.
Because most people just take it, they hold it. Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Right. So most people just, use one end of it, okay?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to use like a mild liquid dish soap. You can use a mild shampoo. Similar to what Bill was saying, you don't want to use an expensive shampoo. You don't need to, as long as it's a liquid and it's mild, okay? So what you want to do, you want to make sure you always do this under running water, but for television's sake, obviously we're using a bowl. Don't use a bowl at home because you're going to trap all the bacteria in here. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get it wet underneath the running water, and then you want to take a dollop, just a dollop, of your shampoo, and you want to go like this. You want to wash it like this. You don't want to do that aggressive scrubbing like that. Just be gentle and just use your index finger and your thumb like that. You want to try it?
Yeah, sure. It actually looks kind of good.
So yeah, make sure you just keep it going like this over certain stains. You don't want to do this motion here like this, because what that does is it wears down the sponge, and it actually makes the sponge change its consistency. And when the consistency of the sponge is changed, all of a sudden the makeup's not going to go on as evenly.
Got it.
Okay, so you want to make sure you do that. And when you get it to where you want it, to the desired thing, you make sure you rinse it off. You take some paper towel, you get rid of the excess, and you dry it off.
Okay, good.
So now make sure you do that once every week or every 2 weeks.
Let's say every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, I know. Which means for you every year, right?
I'm gonna do it once a quarter. All right,
let's move on to powder puffs.
Powder puffs.
Powder puffs.
That sounds more official.
Now these are what makeup artists use. Most women don't use these ones, okay?
Right.
You can wash these all day long, okay? It doesn't matter, you wash them till the cows come home. But these are usually what most women use.
Yeah.
These ones are for compacts. I say don't wash them, don't bother. Just replenish them once a month, I say.
Just ditch it.
Ditch it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Most of the time, first of all, you shouldn't be using this to apply makeup. You should only be using this for touch-ups throughout the day. So it's not going to get as dirty, okay? So, and on top of it, most of them that go in compacts, they have this material in here, right? That is glued onto the powder puff. Once it gets wet underneath the water, it's going to lift and come off anyway, so it's a waste of time to wash them. Just ditch them.
And you can get a whole roll of them.
Get a whole roll of them, get like 12
price.
of them, and you're good for the year.
Yeah.
Okay, but a good way to figure out, because people who have oilier skin like me, ours will get dirtier faster because we have oilier skin.
Right.
So a good indicator to find out if yours is dirty before time is, see how the hairs on here are laying down flat?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, think about grass. If you were to throw mud on grass, the grass would lay down flat, right? It's because the oils have mixed with your makeup and it's created this kind of mucky paste and it makes it flat down. You want a plush green lawn, right?
Yes.
So it's the same type of thing. You want it to be soft to the touch. So if it's not soft to the touch like this, that means there's too much oil on here. Get rid of it and ditch it.
Okay.
Or sometimes this happens, I know a lot of women, this has happened to your makeup, where it gets this hard film on it, and then sometimes you can't lift the makeup off of it, and people return it and say, this makeup's so good. What it is, it's like oils from your makeup that's creating a hard film, and it's hard for you to pick it up. So that's another indicator that your powder puff is dirty. So you can either turn it over if you're too cheap to get another one, or just ditch it and take a knife and just scrape off the top, and it's all new again.
Oh,
so those are two
okay.
indicators that your powder puff is dirty.
Got it. Okay, we have like about a minute to talk about brushes, maybe a little less.
If you're using makeup every day, something like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, you want to be washing your brushes about, same thing, once a week.
All right.
Okay, I know you're not going to do it,
right.
but once a week.
You know me well.
Okay, so what you want to do is take the same dish, the dish soap, and you want to get your brushes wet, run it underneath the water. You want to just put a little dollop on your hand, and you want to make sure you always keep the brush pointing downward like this. Don't do sideways. You always want to keep it like this, because if you get water into the base here, that's where the glue holds the bristles, and then all of a sudden the bristles start to fall out. So you always want to make sure you're pointing it downward like this.
Okay.
Then you want to rinse it off. I'll rinse my hand off as well, and you want to reshape it like this.
When you're drying it, make sure bristles go back in their place.
Make sure you do it like that. I see a lot of people who do this, and they do all that, and what that ends up, look what happens. And then you're misshaping it, so you don't want to do that. You want to do this.
We never got to see that. Okay, so yeah, you wanted to make sure all the bristles are going in the same direction rather than being whipped around.
And then you want to lay it down flat like this on a towel. You don't want to put it in something where it's standing up, because once again, the water will seep into there. And if you have dogs or cats, make sure you keep them at a level they can't get to or a level they can't see, because I'm not kidding. The cats especially love this one here.
Do they?
And it will be all over your floor.
They just want to play with it.
They want to play with it, so make sure they can't reach it.
It looks like a friend, that's why.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, good tips. Let's go to break. More coming up.